Hey friends, what's going on? This is a special preview episode of what I got coming up this week. I generally don't do these. I just like to put an episode out every Wednesday. I like to put something out on the network, the Dean Bundell Network, as well as all my podcast areas, Apple, Spotify, all the rest of it that you guys are used to listening to. I've been doing a series, as you know, about touring, COVID-ish. Haven't spent a lot of time on the subject, but I've been doing my best to, you know, touch on a few things when it comes to what we've been going through pre-COVID as the concert business, post-COVID is, you know, how's it changed? Talking to some of the people in our business that have been affected by it, all the rest of it. Last week, I posted something on my Twitter about being on two inhalers and dealing with a lung issue still post-COVID, a year and a half, almost 20 months after. There was no shortage of feedback. Is that the term I'm looking for? There was no shortage of feedback as to what I was going through. You have it, you don't have it. Try this. Here's some voodoo. Do you really is this really from COVID? All of it. And hey, thank you all for reaching out. Thank you all for giving me all your insight on both sides. Listen, I'm here to listen, but I've got my own opinion on things and I've stayed clear of it and I've avoided it for a long time because it can split the atom. And again, we're all still trying to figure this thing out. But it's important to me that I had a good friend of mine on this week named Sam Gutman, who's a doctor that I trust, doctor with no agenda. The guy has been a big, big help to myself and my family through this thing as we try to navigate what it is that I went through, what it is I might be going through. Because, I've been having some lung issues. I've been having some things. And whatever. That's my personal journey. It's not anyone else's. And I have no idea what other people are going to go through if they were to get this. They may not go through anything. They may actually just had it and moved on, and everything has been amazing. Now, my experience, as we all know, is different than that. So I never get political on here. I don't get religious on here. I don't do any of the things. I just like to have shows that inform people of different things. If you learn something about coffee along the way, amazing. If you learn something about my business and what I do, running concerts and all the rest of it, amazing. If I've introduced you to some things in my world that you didn't know of, and you're like, huh, or you listen to a record, or you watch the other show that I do with Chris Machete called The Kids on the Escalator, and we've recommended some TV shows, all the rest of it. This is all supposed to be, for me, fun. And over the last month, I haven't had a lot of fun because I've been getting hammered with you never had COVID and you never did this and it's all a lie and it's all bullshit. And I kind of hit the end of my rope with it all. Mostly because I'm going through what I'm going through. You're not going through what I'm going through. I'm going through what I'm going through. And it's different than what you might have gone through. So good on you to go through what you went through, but you didn't go through what I'm going through. And the only person that I trust with this information to pass along to you in an opinion is Dr. Sam Gutman. A personal standpoint, somebody that I know, that I trust, and I wanted to get him on. So we talk music. We talk, how his business started because he's a doctor, but then he, started an event company basically called Rock Doc, where he services events and concerts and people like me that need a doctor to come on site, all the rest of it. We get into all that in the episode. So it just was important for me to have him on. And I'm doing like a bit of a preview chat for you because, I'm not political per se. I'm not really. But what I do want is to offer up an opinion from somebody who I greatly trust. So in this coming week, you're going to hear a great interview with Sam where we talk about music and concerts and all the rest of it. And he's got a couple funny stories about festivals and backstage. But we do dive into PCR versus RAT, the rapid test. We do dive into, vaccine hesitancy And I'm no doctor. He's the doctor. So I'm just asking him some simple, dumbed down questions that might help some people make a decision either way. Again, I don't care what you do. Do you? I'll do me. But along the way, I'm going to have my friends on that I trust that are going to talk about it in a scientific manner. And it might help some people in our business that are struggling as to whether they should get vaccinated or not to go on tour. I really, everyone has their own thing that they're going through. I totally get it. Maybe this conversation this week, might give you a little bit more information. I'm not sure. Great guy, Dr. Sam Gutman. Please tune in Wednesday. I'm giving this as like a bit of an audio preview. Odd one for me to do, but I just feel it's very important to get as many people to listen to this show as possible. So, if you don't mind, this coming Wednesday, I'm going to release an episode with Dr. Sam Gutman, and we're going to talk about rock, music, COVID in the concert business, COVID in life, and all the rest of it. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you won't. Maybe you don't care. Either way, just come join me. Come say hello. Anyways, everybody, this week on the Brent on Tour podcast, Dr. Sam Gutman from Rock Doc Inc., great company out of Vancouver that is nationwide in Canada, offering consultancy for concerts, music, film, you name it. Great guy, great guest, great chat. Will you join me? Hopefully. See you then, everybody. Thanks.